Good evening, sir. I'm Jade miñoza, this criminology third year from UC Banilad. I'm here to discuss what is the fire triangle. The fire triangle or combustion triangle is the three components needed to ignite and sustain a fire. Three ingredients of a fire triangle. Fire triangle are heat, fuel, and oxygen. If just one of the components is removed, the fire triangle will collapse and the fire will be extinguished. Let's explore these components in more details. There are three components of fire triangle. First, heat. A source of heat is required in order to ignition to occur, and different materials have different flash points and etc. The lowest temperature at which they ignite. Unfortunately, combustion reaction also produce heat as they burn, further increasing the temperature of the fuel. For some types of the fire, the heat can cool with the application of water. Second is fuel. Fire cannot begin if there is no material to burn. Homes and business are full of flammable materials such as paper, oil, wood, and fabrics. Any of these can serve as a fuel for a fire. Some materials burn more easily than others. Fuels are probably the most difficult side of the fire triangle to remove, so it's wise to store them appropriately to prevent them becoming a fire hazard. Third is oxygen. Oxygen to sustain the combustion reaction. Oxygen or oxidizing agent is needed as it reacts with a burning fuel to release heat and carbon dioxide. Earth atmosphere consists of 21% of oxygen, so there is plenty available to trigger a fire if the other two components are present. Fire blankets and certain fire extinguisher remove the oxygen side of the triangle by removing it or displacing it, causing suffocation and thereby ceasing the combustion reaction. Fire triangle facts. Normal air contains 21% oxygen. Excuse me. So fuel may also contains oxygen. Oxygen heat source includes the sun, hot surface, sparks, friction, and electrical energy. Fuel sources can be a solid, liquid, or gas. What is the fire tetrahedron? The fire tetrahedron is a slightly more complex model to describe the components needed to ignite and sustain a fire. It is a four-sided geometric representation of the four factors necessary for fire. Fuel. Any substance that can combust. Heat. Energy. Heat energy is sufficient to cause ignition. Oxidizing agent. Air containing oxygen. Chemical chain reaction. Sufficient reaction energy to produce ignition. While fire tetrahedron explained, the fire tetrahedron includes the three components covered in the fire triangle with the additional of chemical chain reaction. The model is simply adding another dimension into the traditional fire triangle model by treating the chemical reaction as its own separate component. Some fire extinguishers work by applying extinguishing agent to the fire to inhibit the chemical reaction on a molecular level. The 6 elements of life cycle of fire are described by Dawson-Powell and the mechanics of fire. These elements are input, heat, fuel, oxygen, proportioning, mixing, and ignitioning, continuity. All of these elements are essential for both initiation and continuation of the diffusion flame combustion process. The first three elements, input, heat, fuel, and oxygen, are represented by the fire triangle. And that's all. Thank you.